Crawford.
Huh?
Crawford. I'm not hesitating. Crawford. I'm not even hesitating. Crawford.
You gonna stand on that all the way to September 13th?
I love Canelo. Crawford will beat Canelo. Crawford will beat Canelo by decision. I can't see anybody knocking out Canelo Alvarez.
If you go down the list and ask me about tactical advantages, most of them are Crawford. What Canelo has is size, and as a result, physical strength and punching power.
Crawford's about to fight.
Yes, he's gonna fight Canelo.
Oh man!
I just hope he's big enough. I hope he's big enough to keep that dude off him, because Canelo hits so hard.
Do you feel that Canelo's going to win?
No.
Really?
No.
So you would put your money on Crawford?
Yes.
You'd make money. Just putting that out there.
Mm-hmm.
Why do you think Crawford's going to beat him?
Because Crawford could find people to fight like Canelo, who is amazing. Canelo has he evolved. I saw how he evolved defensively and everything. I just don't think he's as fast as Crawford. And I think Crawford is just a little step ahead as far as movement is concerned.
The boxing world is gearing up for Canelo Alvarez versus Terence Crawford on September 13. Both champions bring power, skill, and speed to the ring, making this one of the most anticipated fights in years. Here's what the experts and pros are predicting for this epic matchup. Stephen A. Smith expressed full confidence in Terence Crawford, saying he believed Crawford's skill set would be too much for Canelo Alvarez. He felt that Canelo was nearly impossible to knock out, but Crawford's movement and boxing ability would allow him to rack up points and leave with a decision victory.
Crawford. I'm not hesitating. Crawford. I'm not even hesitating. Crawford.
You gonna stand on that all the way to September 13th?
I love Canelo. Crawford will beat Canelo. Crawford will beat Canelo by decision. I can't see anybody knocking out Canelo Alvarez. But I do believe that if you can box and you can move, that you can beat Canelo. You can outpoint him.
That's right.
Stephen A. Smith pointed out a flaw in Canelo Alvarez's style, saying that he relies heavily on power shots rather than a varied approach. He noted that the strategy wouldn't be effective against Crawford, and Smith also mentioned that some analysts believed Crawford might face challenges if he traded blows with Canelo, as Canelo is naturally stronger at his weight, even though Crawford has grown and will match him in size.
The thing that I don't like about Canelo is that it's like almost every shot has to be a power shot.
It's a power shot, yes.
And that's not beating Crawford. I will confess, I think Gervonta Davis's trainer, Cal, I think he said this. He said Crawford could find himself in trouble, and I'm not sure it was him, but I think it was him. He said Crawford could find himself in trouble if he decides to engage with Canelo, because Canelo is the naturally bigger, strong fighter. And I don't care that Crawford's gotten bigger, and I don't care that Crawford's going to go in there just as big as Canelo. Canelo is accustomed to fighting at the weight, and Crawford is not. And Canelo is a genius in this regard. You don't see him show up for fights not ready.
Stephen also praised Canelo Alvarez for always being fully prepared and focused for his fights. However, he believed Crawford's speed, smart use of switching stances, and effective movement would give him the edge in points. Smith felt Crawford would likely outbox Canelo but not score a knockout.
He's always
prepared.
He's always ready. He's always
that.
prepared. So I think he's the slower fighter, though. And I think that Crawford is brilliant as a boxer. And I think that between switching to conventional and southpaw, using his jab and movement, I think that Crawford is going to outpoint Canelo because he's faster. But I don't think he's gonna knock him out.
Yeah.
Max Kellerman also analyzed the matchup between Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford, noting that Canelo evolved from a counterpuncher who followed opponents to a fighter who could effectively cut off the ring. Despite this growth, Kellerman felt that Crawford's overall skill set gave him an advantage in a pure boxing sense. He also highlighted that Canelo has a naturally bigger frame than Crawford, giving him a physical edge regardless of weight class.
But in terms of, if you want to go skill for skill, especially the recent version of Canelo, who's had to turn into a seek and destroy guy, who had to learn as his career went on to cut off the ring and not just follow guys around. Like Lara, Trout, Floyd, he followed those guys around. He had trouble because he's really a natural counterpuncher who wants you to come to him. But in recent years at super middleweight, he's gotten really good at cutting off the ring. Again, last fight notwithstanding. So as an overall suite of skills, recent vintage, it's been Crawford.
Okay.
But Canelo also is skilled and has a larger skeleton than Crawford. No matter what they weigh, Canelo's the bigger guy.
Yeah.
Max Kellerman said that Canelo Alvarez carries significant punching power, while Crawford's knockout ability had slowed after moving up in weight. He noted that Crawford, being naturally smaller, would likely hold the speed advantage in the fight and could use it effectively against Canelo.
You briefly mentioned Canelo's power, so who, I would assume Canelo has the
You'd have to think, unless Crawford, Crawford was on a knockout streak until he moved up to junior middleweight and then failed to stop Madrimov. So, and Canelo, though he has not stopped anyone in a while, we've seen he's a real puncher at 68.
As far as speed, who has a better speed?
You would imagine Crawford, given the fact that he is the naturally smaller fighter, and I would assume he could maintain that advantage going into this fight.
Max Kellerman explained that both fighters have exceptional ring intelligence, but he favors Crawford as the top pound-for-pound fighter today. He noted that Canelo has had a longer career starting from his teens, and recent signs suggest he may not be at his peak. Kellerman added that while Canelo is favored because of his high-level skills and natural size advantage, Crawford's recent performances against top opponents make him strong in almost every category.
They both have sky-high ring IQs. If I have to, Crawford, if you ask me again, there's a reason that I think Crawford's the best pound-for-pound fighter in the world, right? Because I think, and Canelo once was. So even though Crawford is biologically older, Canelo has had the longer career. He's been fighting since he's a teenager, and there's been signs recently that maybe he's not the same guy that he used to be. By the way, I know people think Inoue and Usyk are ahead of Crawford. The ring has them rated ahead of Crawford. I don't, because to me, pound for pound is not a fairness issue. It's an issue of just who do you think is better. And the last time I saw Crawford, he moved up yet another division, beat at the time the guy I thought was the best fighter in the division. Turns out he wasn't, but I thought he was at the time. And before that, had just annihilated Errol Spence. So if you look at all the boxes, I'm going to check Crawford for most of them, if not all of them. But the reason Canelo is favored is because Canelo does a lot of things at a very high level, and he's a naturally bigger guy.
Max further predicted that Canelo versus Crawford fight would be one of the most watched boxing matches in decades, largely due to its Netflix broadcast. He compared it to Muhammad Ali's 1978 rematch with Leon Spinks, which reached 90 million viewers, and noted that modern pay-per-view numbers rarely approach that. From a commercial perspective, Kellerman said this fight would surpass anything he's ever covered.
But where would you rank this fight out of your top 3 to 5 of all the boxing fights you've called, you've experienced, you've watched? In
terms of the magnitude of the fight?
Yeah, the magnitude, yeah.
I mean, listen, because of Netflix, this will be the most watched fight, championship fight, in almost 50 years. This is going to be, because Muhammad Ali fought Leon Spinks in the rematch in 78, and they did 90 million TV sets. 90 million. And since then, what has even come close? The biggest fights have all been on pay-per-view, and they do 2 million buys. Oh my God, 4 million buys, Mayweather-Pacquiao. As I keep saying, if 5 people per TV set watch, that's 20 million people. This is going to do multiples of that. So, so when you look at it from a commercial point of view, it'll easily be the biggest boxing event I've ever covered.
Meanwhile, Daniel Cormier called the fight a challenging matchup and highlighted Crawford's impressive size and strength. He recounted a moment at WrestleMania when Bud's son walked past him carrying a championship belt, staring him down and showing fearless confidence, which left a strong impression on Cormier. He also mentioned the stories he had heard from people close to Bud about his skill and toughness. Overall, Cormier emphasized that Crawford is a formidable opponent and that this fight is a major event with significant stakes for both fighters.
Bud and Canelo.
That's a tough fight. I saw Bud recently. He's big.
Bud bigger than you think. He's stronger than you think.
He's strong too. Yo, Bud's son is ridiculous. We had WrestleMania right up the street. He got a belt. He walked past me and he was looking at me the whole time. He looked at me and said, "You the wrestler?" I knocked you out on UFC. I was like, boy, you crazy. But he crazy. Bud told me he had to whip him. Bud said he went to Sean, what's his name? Sean Crawford, Sean Taylor, Sean
Porter?
Sean Porter. Bud said Bud said the same, went to Sean Porter and said, my dad knocked you out. Sean Porter had to call him and be like, well, your son's crazy. Bud said I had to spank him. He crazy. But yes, he's bigger. It's a big time fight. Canelo better have his game ready.
Yeah.
Because if not, he's gonna get beat by Bud.
Yeah.
Daniel Cormier remarked on Terence Crawford's impressive physical presence, noting his height and size when he saw him training at the Apex. He emphasized that Crawford's strength is more than it appears, and anyone facing him will have their hands full. Cormier highlighted that both his stature and his power make him a serious challenge in the ring.
Bud, I mean, like I said, Bud fought at, last fought at, junior middleweight at 154, but Bud walks around at like 180.
He's big, man, and he's tall too.
Yeah.
He's very tall. He looked big. I saw him inside the Apex training.
Yeah.
Yep,
Yeah.
he looked big. Mm-hmm. You went and watch him train too?
No, we did a interview with him, and I say he's stronger than you think.
He's stronger than you could tell.
He's stronger than you think.
Canelo got his hands full.
He does.
Moreover, Mike Perry praised Terence Crawford's toughness but chose Canelo Alvarez to win, citing his power and fearlessness. He pointed out that Canelo faces challenges head-on and doesn't back down, which influenced his pick.
I'm going with the Mexican power. I think I know Terence is tough, he's an incredible fighter, but I'm gonna go with Canelo because he didn't hold Turkey's hand.
On the other hand, Amir Khan warned that Terence Crawford could be even stronger than Canelo Alvarez and praised Crawford's boxing IQ. He explained that while Canelo is naturally strong, he is easier to hit compared to Crawford, whom Khan found very difficult to land clean punches on in their fight. Khan noted that both fighters hit hard, but Crawford's strength and ability to control opponents surprised him, making him a serious challenge for Canelo.
He might be even stronger than Canelo. He might pack the weight on well, that he might do really well in there. So look,
you fought them both. Like, what are the differences between them? Obviously, it's way.
Canelo's stronger and he's easily hit. Very easily hit, very easily. Yeah. Compared to when I fought against Crawford, I couldn't even hit clean. Yeah. So really, that's the difference. And they both hit hard. Yeah. Because, and you can see the strength. When I was fighting against Crawford, I didn't think Crawford was that strong, but when he kind of moved me around a little bit, he is very strong as well. So look, yeah, but why does he need to give that much away? He's pound for pound #1 in the world. Why does he have to go up and fight Canelo?
Joe Rogan also said that he's a big fan of Crawford, praising him as the best switch hitter since Marvin Hagler. He also noted that Canelo is slowed down and relies more on single powerful punches rather than combinations. Rogan believes Crawford has a chance to win, but he would need to execute an exceptionally smart and precise boxing performance.
So who do you like in Canelo versus Crawford?
Well, I'm a giant Crawford fan because I think he's the best switch hitter since Marvin Hagler. I also think Canelo is slowing down, and Canelo is more of a one-punch fighter now than the combination fighter he was when he was younger.
Do you think Terence Crawford can beat Canelo Alvarez?
Yeah, I think he can win.
Okay.
I don't know if he's going to win, but I think he can win. He's going to have to box a brilliant fight.
If Ray Leonard could beat Marvelous Marvin Hagler, then Terence Crawford can beat Canelo Alvarez. Why do you say that? Same equation. Get in, get out. Get in, get out. Yeah. Over and over and over. He's got to figure the angles and the approaches that will allow him to step in, land to the body, or occasionally upstairs, and then get out.
Antonio Tarver called the Canelo vs. Crawford fight a huge event, one of the biggest in years. He said that while he usually supports Crawford, this will be the toughest opponent Crawford has ever faced, and possibly the toughest Canelo has ever faced as well. Tarver noted that the true measure of both fighters would be revealed when they met in the ring on September 13.
Canelo Crawford, I just want to get your thoughts on that fight, please. We're only a few weeks away now.
Yeah, it's a major fight, man, the biggest in a long time. If you've been following Tarver's take, you know I'm Bud County all the way. But this is going to be the toughest fight, the best fighter Bud has ever been in the ring with. And arguably, this could be the best fighter Canelo has ever been in the ring with. We'll find out which one is which on September 13th.
Meanwhile, David Benavidez said that Terence Crawford has a real chance to beat Canelo Alvarez, praising Crawford's high boxing IQ, skill, and strength. He noted that moving up in weight is a challenge, but Crawford has proven against top opponents like Errol Spence that he can compete at an elite level. Benavidez added that while anything can happen in a fight, he wouldn't be surprised if Crawford wins.
Terence Crawford, does he have an opportunity to beat Canelo?
I think if anybody has a chance to beat Canelo, I think it's Terence Crawford. His IQ is on another level. He's a great fighter and he's strong. It's just that it's a lot of weight. I wouldn't be surprised if Terence Crawford wins. Wouldn't be surprised if he loses either. Terence Crawford, when he went up against the best opposition, like Errol Spence, he showed what level he's on, what type of dog he is. So I don't know. You really have to let these fights play out to see what happens. He might get hurt. That might activate him to come back strong.
Could you still make 68?
I don't want to make 68.
No, I know you don't. Terence wins 68.
Yeah, well, if that's, yeah, I can make 168.
On the contrary, coach Joel Diaz argued that Crawford has little chance against Canelo Alvarez. He pointed to the size difference, noting that moving up in multiple weight classes makes a huge impact. Diaz said Canelo can absorb punches from anyone, while Crawford would struggle to handle Canelo's power, suggesting that Crawford lacks the ability to overcome Canelo in this matchup.
A lot of people that say that Crawford can beat Canelo, no problem. I mean, I respect that, but I just think they're stupid. I mean, excuse my language. The size difference of a bigger man changes everything with one punch. And I can see the same thing. I mean, you saw Canelo Alvarez fighting Amir Khan. Now, look at this. Terence Crawford moved from 47 to 54 to fight Madrimov. What did he do to Madrimov? Nothing. Okay, Madrimov was a 54-pounder. Now, to move up to 168, that's 2 more divisions. Canelo Alvarez will take any punch from Crawford, but I don't think Crawford will take any punches from Canelo. Remember, Canelo got hit by Triple G, the heaviest hitter in that division. And Canelo took those shots like a champ. I don't think Crawford has anything to beat Canelo.
Furthermore, Devin Haney described the Canelo vs. Crawford matchup as one fans have been eager to see. He praised Crawford's skills, discipline, and boxing IQ, but acknowledged Canelo's size and strength as a major factor. Haney also shared that Crawford's father encouraged him to take the fight, showing support behind the scenes.
How's that matchup look to you?
I think it's a good matchup. It's a fight that we all been wanting to see. Bud has the skills. He got the discipline, IQ to win, but Canelo has all that with the size. So I think it's a good fight. I'm happy that Bud got the fight. My dad was the one that told him that he should take the fight. Yeah, Bud. I don't know if y'all haven't seen it. Bud came out and said that my dad was the one that told him to fight Canelo a long time ago.
David Haney called the fight a great matchup for boxing and said both he and Crawford's father were backing Bud for the win. He admitted it wouldn't be easy, but believed Bud has the ability to pull it off. Haney also reflected on Canelo's career, noting his multiple undisputed titles and defenses, suggesting there isn't much left for him to achieve even if he wins or loses this fight.
I think it's a good fight for boxing.
Is your dad picking Bud to win that fight?
Of course, yeah. And I'm picking Bud too. But will it be an easy task? No. But if anybody could do it, I think Bud can.
You think he should hang it up after that? Like retire?
Yeah, I mean, what else? What else
is there to do, right?
Yeah, what else?
And it's a big money fight.
If he wins or loses, what else is it to do? He's been undisputed twice.
2 weight classes.
What he defended it. What more does he need to do?
Meanwhile, Timothy Bradley Jr. predicted that the opening round of Canelo vs. Crawford would be a feeling out stage for both fighters. He said Canelo would try to likely control the center of the ring and use movement to gauge Crawford's power, while Crawford would do the same. Bradley emphasized that the early part of the fight would focus on positioning, balance, and finding the right distance to land punches while avoiding getting hit.
How the first round is going to go and how the course of the fight's going to go, man. I see the first round being a fill-out round by both fighters. I think Canelo will try to control the center of the ring. I think he might even box a little bit on his toes, due to the fact because he wants to feel the punching power, and vice versa. Crawford wants to feel his punching power as well. In the beginning, it's all the position balance. Like both guys are trying to get balance and trying to find their rhythm. Understanding their distance to where they can punch and at the same time avoid getting hit.
Timothy Bradley Jr. suggested that Crawford might drop the first few rounds as he typically starts slowly, and he explained that once Crawford analyzes his opponent and understands their strategy, he adjusts and begins exploiting mistakes. Bradley added that as the fight progresses, Crawford's precision, skill, and ability to change tactics would shift the momentum, making it clear he cannot win by simply staying defensive.
Because the first half, I think Crawford might lose the first couple of rounds. I really do. Before Crawford downloads the information, okay? You go back, you watch any Crawford fight. He's a slow starter. He just is. You can watch Sean Porter fight. He's a slow starter, okay? But once he starts to get smiling, and once he figures out his range, and he sees, right, and he recognizes, downloads everything, you know, what you're attempting to do or what you're trying to do, and then he starts taking things away from you, okay? And he starts to make you pay for your mistakes after. And as the fight goes on, with his laser sharpness, his skills, and his ability to give different looks, that's when the fight's gonna start to turn up. This ain't gonna be no fight where Crawford gonna sit there and run all night. Hell to the no. Because he's not going to win this fight that way. He cannot.
Timothy further shared his final prediction, saying Crawford would ultimately win the fight in the later rounds, as he often does in his matches. He explained that Crawford would need to step up and fully engage, throwing punches with intensity because Canelo's size and strength would pressure him throughout. Bradley emphasized that Crawford's ability to unleash his offense at the right moment would be key to securing victory.
We built this fight up enough, but this is my honest assessment on the fight, man. Crawford gonna win this fight on the back end like he does all of his damn fights. He is. And he gonna step up and he gonna bite down. He gonna have to. He's going to have to. Because Canelo is going to push him. He's going to push him. He has the weight advantage. He's gonna push him. Crawford's gonna have to throw and let those hands go like he's never done before.
On the other hand, Abel Sanchez stated that to defeat Canelo Alvarez, a fighter must be willing to take punches and apply constant pressure. He explained that unless an opponent can match or exceed Canelo's power and keep him on the defensive, they will struggle. Sanchez emphasized that only fighters who can press him effectively, stay active, and handle his strength have a real chance of winning.
In my opinion, in order to beat Canelo, you're going to have to be willing to take a shot and to press him and make sure that you keep him busy and keep him backing up. If you can't muscle him, if you can't be more effective than he is with his punches, and you push him back, then you're not going to beat him. You leave him on the outside, he's going to pick you apart. He's going to pound your arms. He's so damn strong, just like Gennady was. Guys like Bivol that were able to press him and be stronger than him and just keep activity on him. Those are the kind of guys that are going to beat him.
Abel Sanchez expressed doubts about Terence Crawford moving up in weight to face Canelo Alvarez. He argued that Crawford hasn't built the necessary strength or experience at higher weights, and ballooning to a much heavier weight could hurt his performance. Sanchez believed Crawford would be stronger and more effective if he stayed around 170 pounds, while at the heavier weight, he might struggle to match Canelo's power and physicality in the ring.
Terence, I don't care if he goes up to 200 pounds, it doesn't have that in time, doesn't have that. If he would have done this, if he'd have fought 3 or 4 guys already at that weight and built up his work ethic and his strength by competing and by beating guys at that weight, then I could see it. But he's ballooned up to whatever it is that he is, which is, in my opinion, the worst thing he could have done. But then again, who am I to question a Hall of Famer like that, right? But if it would have been me, I would have kept him at 170 pounds. The weight that he's going to fight at that way, he wouldn't have to lose nothing. He'd be as strong as he could be at that weight, instead of, from what I understand, he's in the 90s. If he is, maybe that's just hype, I don't know. But if he is in the 90s, he's going to have to drop down to the high 60s. That doesn't make any sense to me. But he's a Hall of Famer, man. He's a great fighter. I just don't think that he's big enough. I don't think that he's strong enough to be able to muscle a Canelo.
Similarly, Manny Pacquiao also called the Canelo versus Crawford matchup a strong fight and noted that Canelo has an advantage since Crawford is moving up in weight. He advised Crawford to focus on maintaining his speed, improving his stamina, and enhancing his power, emphasizing that keeping his speed and strength will be crucial in a higher weight class.
Canelo Crawford coming up September. What do you think about that fight?
Canelo Crawford. Good fight. Good fight. Canelo has advantage because Crawford moving up, but my advice to Crawford is like maintain the speed, improve the speed, and improve the strength, because it's hard to go up in high weight and maintain your speed. So speed is the key. Like he should focus on speed, footwork, and improve the power.
So that wraps up today's video, and hopefully you've enjoyed it. We'd also love to hear your valuable thoughts on the Crawford versus Canelo fight, so share your predictions in the comment section and make sure to like and subscribe to our channel for more interesting videos.